versus the stream here with PlanetDestiny, continuing our King's Fall raid guide. As we get deeper into the raid, the mechanics become more complex, so allow me to explain a couple of things before we move on to what exactly you should be doing. There will be many things to remember during this fight. Your team can only die 6 times before you all wipe and have to restart the fight. You can track how many times your team members have died by looking at how many symbols on the stone are lit up behind Golgoroth. You will also find 6 eggs hanging from the ceiling above Golgoroth. These must be shot down in order to DPS the boss once it hits the ground and creates a puddle, boosting all damage to those who stand in it. In order for any of that to work without risking death, Golgoroth will have to set his gaze on someone, that way he will focus on one person as the others damage him by shooting his glowing stomach. So let's get to the strats. Adds are going to spawn on the left, right, and bottom middle behind the boss once the fight begins. Clear all adds before you start to go for the boss. This way things are less stressful and your team can apply full attention to the boss. Choose 2 people from your team that will switch back and forth from grabbing the boss's gaze, since this gaze only lasts for a limited time and will force the team to retreat to their original positions back on top. To grab the gaze, all you have to do is shoot the giant sack on his back. You'll know you have it because it appears on screen. Golgoroth will send deadly orbs to the gazed members, so they must shoot these orbs to avoid death and giving the boss his health back. As one of you are grabbing the gaze, everyone else will shoot the egg closest to the gazed player's side, that way the boss's chest will face towards the group, jumping down in the puddle to apply damage. Make sure the gazed members call out when their time is almost up, so the person across can then grab the gaze and the group damaging the boss can shoot the next egg on the same side of that next gazed person. Everyone staying in the puddle needs to shoot into the boss's stomach with all they've got while the 2 gaze members clear out any adds and continue to swap gaze with each other. This fight requires both the gaze group and the damage group to cooperate as much as possible. Cursed thralls will also spawn in the area with the group damaging the boss, so make sure to look around for a second to make sure the area is cleared. When the boss's health gets to a low point, the adds will become taken thralls, and this is where the fight becomes easier in my opinion. The taken thralls are easier to deal with and you don't have to wait to kill them all, so jump back in when the eggs are available and damage the boss since they will spawn non-stop. If you have any hunters or warlocks, the Stormcaller and Night Stalkers come in handy when clearing adds and making sure everyone is safe while damaging the boss. This strategy stays the same during the entire fight, so as long as everything goes as planned, you'll be fine if you're doing enough DPS to the boss. So to quickly recap, 2 gazers, 4 DPSers. 1 grabs the gaze, everyone else shoots an egg. DPS team will jump in puddle and damage boss. Second gazer will take the gaze away from the other member and repeat the process of shooting the egg down, allowing the DPS team to continue doing damage to the boss. It may take some tries to get used to, but once you nail the strat, it's pretty easy to pull off. After successfully doing these steps, Golgoroth will be slain and raid loot shall be gained. Hope you all expected the raid to get a little more complicated because that's exactly what's happening next. This next segment is all about getting rid of Oryx's daughters, the Death Singers. You'll most likely be confused as you enter this giant room filled with random panels. Each panel creates floating platforms that only one person that is randomly chosen can jump on, so get ready to act quick. The person who is randomly chosen must hop on these platforms and grab the relics so that they can make their way towards the Death Singers and steal their brand. It's not that easy though. Ads will spawn in the middle, so make sure to assign some ad duty. Each person assigned to a panel must hop on their panel in a specific order depending on where the relic spawns. So let's look at the map from a bird's eye view with the entrance being the bottom. The panel to your right will be number 1, top right will be number 2, top left will be number 3, and bottom left will be number 4. So if the relic spawns on panel 3 for example, then the person to start the platforms will be panel number 4, then number 1, then number 2, then number 3. Where the chosen one will then land on the platform and grab the relic. Make sure to go on your panel one at a time, starting with the panel after the relic's location, or the panels will all cease to exist and the relic holder will fall through. Allow me to also mention there is also a time limit before the Death Singer finishes their song and everyone wipes, so this must be completed as quickly as possible. So let's get to the strats. Once you all walk in or respawn from a wipe, someone on your team will be randomly chosen to grab relic. At this point, send everyone to their positions, but do not jump on any panels because jumping on a panel will activate the Death Singer and your time will begin. The relic position will show up in time before you start the run, so it's okay to wait a bit before starting. Once everyone is ready to go, get your first person on their panel. Enemies are now going to spawn, so the one on ad duty will take care of them. As the person going for relics makes their way to the next panel's platform, make sure that that person gets on their panel before the relic holder reaches them. You'll begin to find a rhythm that works and start to do this easily. When the time gets to 45 seconds, Taken Vandals will spawn outside of each panel, so make sure everyone is alert and ready to take them down. Assuming everything is going well, your relic holder will grab the relic and make their way towards the Death Singer that looks like it's taking a nap. Relic holder needs to dunk it into the sleeping Death Singer and make their way towards the center entrance of the map a little past the crystals you see before you. This is your time to DPS the Death Singer that was just dunked on. Don't worry about the surrounding ads because the relic holder now possesses a shield that blocks all enemy fire, so put all focus on the Death Singer. Damage the left Death Singer enough to almost death, but do not kill it. This way, when the right Death Singer glowing red finishes their song, it will not try to kill the sister, thus keeping everyone alive that's inside the relic holder's bubble. Repeat the same process with platforms after finding out where the relic is floating and once again dunk the Death Singer that is sleeping. Apply damage enough to near death her, but do not kill. What we're doing here is to make this run safe, not fast when it comes to killing them. Next off, the Death Singer you just DPS'd will be the one singing. This time we're going for that kill. Run the same strategy with the relic holder and this time dunk the relic into the Death Singer that's glowing red. Run back to the center position and kill the Death Singer. Run the same exact strat again, dunk the final Death Singer, regroup to center and end this fight. Now celebrate quickly and get ready for the fight you've been working so hard to get to.